Now it's morning, and I'm walking through the fresh snow that fell since yesterday evening. Here and there along the road, in the fresh snow, you can see hare tracks. A hare is running around, but apparently only one. There, on that lake that I've already passed. Now I'm walking. There are no more tracks ahead. Let's see if any other animals are running around. That's what I was saying. Our hare. You see the tracks. They're small. He was hopping from there. Hopping. Looking for something here. Hopping here, and then he ran further. I walk alone in snowshoes through the snowy forest, surrounded by tall spruce trees that occasionally shield me from the sky's gaze. Moving with small, steady steps, I listen to the rustles and sounds of the forest, which remind me of the vibrant nature and prompt reflections on life. How quickly time passes, and how much lies ahead. I reflect on my victories, joys, and hardships, on my dreams, and on what else I hope to discover and achieve. Looking back at my tracks left on the pristine snow, each step feels like a stage in our lives, imprinted briefly in our memories, and eventually fading away with time, either erased by a new snowfall or etched deeper into our minds, remaining there forever, sinking deeper like a swamp pulling us down. I feel an exceptional pride in what I've accomplished in reaching this point. But I also understand that there's still much work ahead. I want to keep moving forward, watching as the forest obediently parts before me, revealing new horizons. I know there will be many more trials and opportunities. Amidst my thoughts, the crackling of the crystalline snow beneath my feet suddenly distracts me. Perhaps it carries a message I must decipher. Unexpectedly, and somewhat irritably, amid the silence of the forest, a strange sound emanates from the side. It's very faint, and I wonder how I even heard it. Straining my ears, I hear it again and again. Trees obstructing my ability to discern whether it's distant or nearby, and what or who might be hiding behind them. Perhaps it's a slumbering beast nearby or the call of nature, reminding me that I'm not alone, that I'm surrounded by life, precious and fragile, capable of being abruptly severed like a snowdrift falling from the branches to the ground, remaining there forever. I look around and see only snow-covered spruce trees, their busy shadows enveloping me, feeling small and helpless before the power of nature, which shakes me to my core and fills me from within, prompting me to remember that we continue our journey for ourselves, for our loved ones waiting at home, for the future generation to whom we'll impart new life, so they can experience and be filled with all that we've had and preserved for them, passing on our values and a piece of ourselves with this untouched nature. I continue my journey, feeling more than confident in my abilities. My thoughts are occupied with the present and the future, and my heart is filled with happiness and joy. I realize that there are still many mysteries and secrets around me, waiting to be unraveled, making my life even more beautiful and interesting. It's unknown how long my thoughts would have wandered around what I've already accomplished and what lies ahead. As the path to the lake leads me to the cars near the crooked cabin, my thoughts snap back to reality, warmed up from the brisk walk. I start searching for the fishing gear left behind. So, Max said he left the bait for fishing in the ATV yesterday. I'm trying to find it now. Wow. Max also has microspikes to prevent slipping on the ice. Because there's no point in casting a bare jig head on the rod, the temperature was, I don't even know, maybe a maximum of -1 degree Celsius at night. and snow was falling. Venturing onto the ice, I find nobody around. The snow, accompanied by a gentle breeze, muffles all sounds that were distinct in the forest. Only our belongings, dusted with snow, hint that someone was here yesterday. Everything remains in its place, with no signs of nearby wildlife. Perhaps they fear venturing onto the ice and prefer moving along the forest's edge, along the shore. However, a small bird cheerfully chirps as it hops around our campsite, lively and vibrant. Can't find the bait for fishing. I didn't find it where Max said it was in the ATV. I don't know. Maybe I'll check the sled now. The bait is under the tarp on top. I found something in the guy's box. Yesterday we had good bites on painted shrimp. But I don't know. Now I found these. They look like artificial worms. I'll try to bait them while I look for the rest of the bait. In my arsenal, there are no tools for winter fishing. I prefer fishing in open waters, but when the opportunity arises to fish in winter, I won't refuse. Especially since Max brought along an extra rod specifically for me. Winter fishing is still relatively new to me, and catching trout in winter is only my second time, so I adjust the line with artificial bait and drop it into the hole, having learned a bit from yesterday's experience. It's quiet now, no wind. Our second team, Oleg and Slava, are riding snowmobiles. I can hear the sound of their snowmobiles from afar. Brothers Slava and Oleg. They're cool dudes, really into fishing, both married. We didn't even agree on what time we'd meet on the ice today. Just kind of ended up at the same spot around the same time. The guys have a snowmobile and a tracked quad bike. Judging by their gear, they're seasoned hunters and fishermen, probably spent nights out in the woods. We decided to move a bit from yesterday's spot since we made quite a racket there, drilling new holes around the ridge. The first catch of the day didn't take long. Slava got the first bite on a worm with a flasher. Great. Today we already have a catch. How beautiful this fish. Very beautiful. Yes, a good size, probably bigger than yesterday's catch. Yes, it's the biggest. As they say, we can celebrate with the first blood, so to speak, although there's nothing to drink today. The flasher's doing its thing, and the trout seem more interested. Slava had another bite a few minutes later, but it got away. Couldn't find any red shrimp, so I settled for a slightly frozen worm with a vibro tail. Found the right depth and set up the rod. With the flasher, I have to cast it a bit higher to get it to play better in the water and attract the trout. Today, it's just the three of us on the ice in the morning. Originally, we wanted to head out with the gang from the cabin for the morning fishing, but Max and Karen decided to help tidy up the cabin after our stay, so everyone except me, who spent the night in the cabin, is still sleeping. We've got at least a couple more hours to catch some fish to take home. But the weather today is just not great. The sky's covered in clouds, still snowing, and the sun can't break through. Plus, there's a side wind blowing from the ridge, making me zip up and pull my hood tight again. since it's snowing, the fish aren't active today, and the bite is much worse than yesterday. Oleg, leaving his rods under our watch, went on a scouting trip to the other side of the lake to check if it's windy there. After confirming that it's calm, he returns to us to suggest changing spots again, which we gladly agree to. We quickly load everything onto the sled and cross the lake on the snowmobile. Slava decides to move a bit later, and I double-check all the gear. Finally found the dyed shrimps, as there's a belief that if you don't believe in the bait, no one will bite it. Just like today, the shrimp gives me big hope, just like the worm. Meanwhile, the snowfall has really picked up a bit more, and it'll cover the edge of the forest. But we don't give up and keep drilling new holes, searching for the inactive fish to bait them right in front of their noses. And here comes another beauty. My hope didn't let me down. Just like yesterday, it didn't take long. At first, I had one slip when a small trout was already in the hole, but the second one got hooked securely, and I managed to pull it out. Here's the third fish today. I caught this one. Small, beautiful one. After me, Slava caught one more, but poor Oleg didn't get any bites today. All the fish decided to steer clear of him. An hour later, the snow finally stopped, and by that time, we could see our entire team clearly. They've already made it onto the ice and are loading the remaining gear. Remember, Max's sled broke in the first episode when we were driving late at night through the forest to the cabin. So to avoid any more stops on the way back, they decide to load it onto Alex's roof. The weight in the cars has decreased over these days. We've eaten almost all our supplies we brought with us. Karen, as always, in her element, keeps everyone entertained with loud music. All items are packed and secured. We can confidently begin the journey back. Since the sled is now on the roof, and the rear seats are also occupied, Freeing up space next to Daniel on the quad bike, I ride back with him. Daniel, a really, really good guy, never refuses anything. Does morning exercises every day. Character is soft, persistent, not married. Our fishing adventures are coming to an end. We just need to load everything onto the trailers, and after a 3-hour journey, we'll be back home, where everyone will return to their tasks, work, and goals, believing that everything will work out for us, and that each one will achieve what they strive for. We will be able to gather again in the circle of our friends and delight you, the viewers, with our new and exciting journeys across Canada. Thank you for being with us. If you started watching our expedition only from this part, be sure to watch the first 2, where there was a lot of interesting and exciting plot. Good luck to everyone. Bye for now.